Oh my God, what a night of football that has been. Chelsea have been magnificent. Manchester United have been outrageously good. Barcelona had a good result. But before we start, I have to just say, in fact, can I say this? Would you please click the subscribe button right now? It really does help us out and I would appreciate it so much if you would click it before we get into this video. Something I have to just talk about, we're going to talk about Manchester United in great detail. We will analyse Chelsea in minute detail as well. But I've had some complaints on both Twitter and Instagram. Manchester City fans have been having a bit of a pop at me because they didn't think that I gave them the credit they deserved on yesterday's video. Yesterday's video is up. You can go and have a look. And on reflection, I think they are correct. The reason that I didn't give them the credit they deserved is because I was so underwhelmed by Andre Villas-Boas. What a pathetic manager. What an outrageously poor attempt at managing his team that was. I was so appalled that I didn't give Manchester City their due diligence. They deserved to have some glory, and I didn't give it to them. Kevin De Bruyne pulling the strings, looking phenomenal. Brilliant movement from all of their forwards, and it was a very impressive result. To go away to the Velodrome and win convincingly like that, it does deserve acknowledgement, but the reason it didn't come has nothing to do with Man City. It's not an anti-Man City thing. It's an anti-Villas-Boas thing. Villas-Boas played the most uninspiring side he possibly could. He rested all of the creativity that he could in order to hopefully cling on to a draw and then get battered 3-0. Have a go. If you're going to lose 3-0, just have a go. That is why I didn't give Man City what they deserved. So apologies for that, and it won't happen again. But yeah, it's just come from a very anti-Andre Villas-Boas slant that I have. Outrageously poor manager, terrible, and always manages to get work. I don't know how he does it. He's an excellent freelancer. I give him full credit for that. A man who does deserve an awful lot of credit today. We'll start with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, shall we? I could have easily said Frank Lampard there. But we'll start with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He got it right. I know a lot of Manchester United fans have been talking about Nagelsmann. Anyone on Twitter who has that little avatar of Nagelsmann is quickly deleting it, aren't they? They're quickly changing it and getting their Ollie at the wheel stuff back up and running because it was a masterclass from Solskjaer. He was brilliant. He was brave. Played a diamond in the middle, which I thought was clever. Obviously, nice to see Van der Beek at the number 10. But there's not too much we can say here. The first goal deserves a quick mention, but we're going to talk about one man and one man only. But the honorary mention will come from Mason Greenwood. I thought Paul Pogba did brilliantly for that goal. I think there's potential that it would have been ruled out for VAR, but it wasn't. Not offside for me at all, by the way. In line is onside in my book. But yeah, it was a beautifully taken goal from Mason Greenwood. Paul Pogba did very well on the build-up. Fred actually won the ball, slotted it through to Pogba. Pogba then slotted it through to Greenwood. Greenwood hit it with his left foot across the keeper. Brilliant goal, 1-0. No arguing with that. It was excellent. The thing that we do have to talk about now, though, and this is all we're going to do. This is going to become a like lionising, heroising Marcus Rashford. It's incredible what he's doing off the pitch. His diligence and devotion to that side of his life now deserves recognition. I thought it was amazing that he went over to Paris, scored a winner, and comes back and he's back on the campaign trail. He is an inspiration to us all, and we're very lucky to have him. And I found his Twitter feed the other day one of the best things of this year. I don't know if I felt an emotion in the country, everybody kind of pulling in the same direction and feeling very proud since 2012 Olympics, maybe. So we owe Marcus Rashford an awful lot. And I just cannot understand how he's managed to do what he's done and how the government have been so stupid and short-sighted. It's painful, really, to watch it play out. But let's talk about football. And Marcus Rashford, not only is he a brilliant human being, but he is a phenomenal football player. He got his hat-trick. He was actually very generous. He could have got his hat-trick a bit earlier, but he fell on his sword. He allowed Anthony Martial to take the penalty. But he came on. He was so hungry. He was so up for it. One of the goals in particular, I think, sums up his performance. It's a microcosm of his day. and he wins the ball. There's a bit of a ricochet. He latches onto it, steams through towards the goalkeeper, and then drills it with so much might that he almost takes a tumble turn into the far corner. But he really lashes it home, and that's how keen and hungry he was. But it's another day where Marcus Rashford gets full plaudits, and I'm running out of superlatives to talk about him, to be honest. I don't think I'm an articulate or erudite enough man to give him his due diligence. Due dessert, just desserts even. So somebody far more intelligent will have to talk about Marcus Rashford. But on the pitch, it was spot on. Absolutely spot on. And also off the pitch, I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer deserves credit. Solskjaer and Frank Lampard are in a very similar boat in my eyes. They get a lot of criticism, often when it's due, but the criticism comes. What doesn't come is the praise when they get it right. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got it right in Paris. He got it right against Chelsea, in fairness. You know, a point isn't a bad result in those circumstances. And boy, did he get it right tonight. So, full credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Did you hear that? Can you hear that? That's my baby monitor. This is the life I'm living. My baby monitor is going off. I'm hoping my wife is going to hear that. Sorry. Yeah, Clementine, man, you're interrupting just as I'm about to talk about the greatest man in the world. I'm about to talk about Frank Lampard and Clementine decides to wake up. I can hear my wife going, so it's all good. Unbelievable. I need to learn to edit. You see, anybody who can edit would just sort this out, wouldn't they? They cut and whatever. I can't do it. This is all one take. So I'll talk about Frank Lampard, and Chelsea have beaten Krasnodar 4-0. We couldn't have hoped for much more. It doesn't get better, does it? Because it's another clean sheet. I saw something incredible. Do you know that Edouard Mendy has had as many clean sheets this month as Kepa Arrizabalaga has had this year? I mean, that tells a story in itself, doesn't it? It's unbelievable quite how poor our goalkeeping situation was and quite how good this new keeper is. He's come in. You can see the impact that it has on the back line. And it's a new back line. You know, Frank Lampard played Rudiger, which I thought was a wise decision. We have to rotate. Nice to give Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva hasn't travelled. It's nice to give him a bit of time off. He certainly deserves it. But things are on the up for Chelsea. We're playing very well. And there's a lot of moany people in the world. Have you noticed? I'm sure you have. There are people who love to moan. They moan, and they drive you mad. And there is this, it seems to be this consciousness of opinion that says Chelsea aren't doing very well. The fact of the matter are this. Chelsea have lost 1 in 10. They have lost 1 in 10. That's not bad. We now have some very winnable fixtures coming up. We've got Burnley. And we're going into that on the crest of a wave. I don't quite know who will play, but I think it's a brilliant problem for Frank Lampard to have. Because Christian Pulisic is a threat. Hakim Ziyech, for me, scored a wonderful goal and was man of the match. He gets my nod for man of the match. So Frank Lampard needs to work out who plays against Burnley, who our wingers are, because there's a lot of competition going for them. But isn't it good? Isn't it lovely? We've got the clean sheet. We've settled everything in the back. And now moving forward, we look great. And something else I thought was really important today was a tactical genius of Frank Lampard. He changed it just when we needed him to. The midfield wasn't working. It was very slow. It was pedestrian. It was, you know, it's usual. I often criticise some of those players in the middle, one in particular. And it came to fruition again. Frank Lampard recognised it, saw it, and bang, switched it up. Put Mason Mount in. Mason Mount playing deeper, which I liked. And the energy that came with that, the injection of energy and enthusiasm from Mount changed the game entirely. And I think that Mason Mount, playing a little bit deeper, could have found himself a new position there. Him linking up with Kante, for me, that's a very good midfield. What do you think about that? Is that something that you think could work? Obviously very interested to hear your thoughts on that. But yeah, your thoughts on Mount in the middle. There's nearly a man in the... I nearly started singing Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror there, but thankfully I didn't. The only thing that we should discuss, which wasn't ideal, another missed Jorginho penalty. Great to see Timo Werner stepping up and lashing it in. That's how I like to see penalties taken. The hop, skip and a jump doesn't work for me. And while we're on the negatives, not getting too desperate here, not making it more than it needs to be. But Kai Havertz, he's a beautiful football player. So gifted, so fluid on the ball, languid in style. I like it, but he's not very robust. And I just think he needs to be a little bit more assertive. So something for him to work on and something for Lampard to think about. But I'm sure he will because the talent is clearly there. And I can't think of a better person in world football to nurture it. But yeah, I'm feeling very good. Feeling really, really good. Can't wait for the game against Burnley. The only thing we should also mention, big win for Barcelona. They beat Juventus. Andrea Pirlo, my boy. I was hoping for more, but Dembele scored a fantastic goal. But the goal for me is actually more about the assist. Have a look. I'm sure you've seen it. But if you haven't, Messi's assist for the Dembele goal, crossfield ball, first touch, left foot. Pwah. Unreal. Beautiful. Beautiful. And a joy to behold. So there we have it. Another glorious day of football. It just doesn't get better. I truly hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry to Man City fans. Chelsea are brilliant. Manchester United were annoyingly good. And I will see you all on the next video. Please click subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, and can you give this video a like? That counts, apparently. I'm out.